At this point in the election cycle, it seems like everyone in the country knows who they want to vote for, at least who they favor. And the election actually hinges on who shows up at the polls. Are there really any undecideds left that would be swayed by tonight's debate?
It's a great question, and I think the answer is yes. What the uniqueness of this election is twofold. One, you have two viable third-party candidacies in the form of Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, who are drawing a wide spread of the vote from both candidates. Then you also have the fact that you literally have the two most unpopular candidates in the history of American polling between Trump and Clinton. Very much sort of this race to the bottom where folks aren't quite sure who they want to vote for less.
And Chris, it seems like from a lot of the commentary out there that Clinton has perhaps more to lose in this situation or more to prove going into this debate. Is that your take as well?
I think that's right. I mean, it may be totally unfair, but this is just sort of the political reality we're in, where Trump can kind of win this debate by not losing, meaning all he really has to do is sort of pass this presidential litmus test, given his low expectations, the fact that people are fairly or not fairly grading his performance on a curve, which has been a source of real frustration for the Clinton campaign, but that's sort of the reality we're in.
And from what we understand, Hillary Clinton, Chris, or at least her campaign, gave Mark Cuban a front row seat to get into Donald Trump's head. Is this the strategy that we're expecting from her, to kind of needle him and see if she can tempt him into making some off-the-cuff remarks?
Right. I mean, I think what you're going to see from Secretary Clinton, as evidenced with the Mark Cuban invitation, is a lot of Clinton staying on offense, while also showing her poise, her resume, et cetera, but trying to provoke what some have called a Trump moment. That the Clinton campaign is hopeful that in this debate they can sort of show that Trump is either unfit or is sort of unpresidential, and that they believe they can win the debate, and quite frankly, the 12 to 24 hours after the debate, if they can sort of trigger a Twitter storm from Mr. Trump.
And what about his preparation? Because there's been sort of some back and forth, right, that he's not doing much preparation or he is doing preparation. This is actually his first live head-to-head debate. He's only been in scenarios where there have been more people on the stage. And we might hear from him for longer stretches of time on policy than we have heard before. So is he sort of up to that task?
Right. Trump, through the Republican debates, where he had anyone from 4 to a dozen people on the stage, was able to sort of rely more on style than substance. And what the Clinton campaign is going to try to shine a spotlight on here is that sort of that's his entire candidacy, and you need both. And that in a 90-minute debate with two people, no commercials, you can't hide sort of in. There's no safety in numbers on the stage this time around. And trying to provoke not only sort of a bullying response from Trump, but also maybe something along the lines of an Aleppo moment, which happened to Gary Johnson, sort of freezing when asked what he would do with the situation in Aleppo. So if tripping up Trump just on basic sort of issues of governing, of foreign policy, of domestic policy, et cetera.